Hey guys, got a fun video here today. I had some friends who have no idea how to play Pokémon Showdown make me a team. Let's get into it. First we have a special sweeper Charizard of Naive Nature with leftovers. Moveset is Earthquake, Fire Blast, Flamethrower, and Dragon Dance. Next is a bulky Go-Go with Assault Vest, Max HP, Match Attack, Leaf Storm, Leaf Blade, Bulk Up, and Grass Knot with Brave Nature. Then we have the Adamant Crabominable, bulky, with Drain Punch, Thunder Punch, Ice Punch, Dynamic Punch, and the Boxing Glove, Terra Fairy. Then we have the bulky Honchkrow with the Rocky Helmet, Max HP, Max Attack. Then we have Choice Band Raichu, Max Special Attack, Max Speed, Timid Nature, Thunder, Electro Ball, Fake Out, Nasty Plot. Easily my favorite. Lastly, we have Adamant Wugtrio, Max Attack, Max Speed, Adamant Nature, Aqua Jet. I wanted to challenge myself with this team, but this is definitely in the lower elos. Without further ado, let's get into it. I lead off with my Honchkrow, they lead off with their Dugtrio. They start dancing with swords right away. I go for the Brave Bird, knock him down to his sash. Take some recoil damage, they go for the Sucker Punch, Honchkrow eats that up, he goes down to the Rocky Helm. Honchkrow whips his acrobatics, his next victim is a Tinkatonk over there, he whiffs the Thunder Wave. I then decide to set up the Tailwind, get some speed control on my side. Go for another Brave Bird, do about 30. Take some damage, he goes for the knockoff, gets rid of my Rocky Helm, takes some more damage. I go for acrobatics, he just hangs on, decides to set up some stealth rocks, I go for another acrobatics, take out Tinkatuff. My Tailwind goes away, he then goes into the fan, goes for the Volt Switch, takes out my bird. He uses that to pivot into his Lycanroc, I decide to give Wugtrio a try. Go for the Aqua Jet through a huge chunk, but Lycanroc just hangs on. He then goes for the foul play, Sausage Links hangs on. Gooey activates, lowers his speed, but it doesn't matter, I go for the Aqua Jet, take him out. Take myself out with some recoil. Shiny Charizard then decides to make an appearance, they go into the Houndoom. I go for the Earthquake, Houndoom just hangs on, goes for the Dark Pulse, takes out my Charizard. I then decide to go into my Raichu, take some hazard damage, go for the Fake Out, take out the Houndoom. At this moment, I realize I'm Choice Banded into Fake Out, so I have to switch into the Go-Go. They go for the Nasty Plot, get that boost over there, go for the Shadow Ball, does barely anything to the goat. Go for the Leaf Blade, does a little bit to him. He goes for a Draining Kiss, gets some health back, I go for another Leaf Blade, Mischievous is still hanging on. He goes for the Shadow Ball, the Goat is still hanging tough. Goes for the Leaf Blade, take out the Ghost. The fan then makes another appearance as the last Pokemon. He decides to start boosting over there. I go for another Leaf Blade, get the crit, do about half. He gets some lefties back, he then goes for the T-Bolt, takes out my Goat. He gets some lefties back, the Menace Raichu then decides to come back in, takes some hazard damage, he goes for the Terra Electric, I connect with the Thunder but it barely does anything. He whiffs the Air Slash, gets some lefties back, I connect with another Thunder, he's still hanging on. He connects with an Air Slash, Raichu is still hanging on tough over there. I then get lucky, connect with a third Thunder, take out the fan. Good game. Alrighty, let's get into game 2. They start with the Masquerain, I start with the Charizard. He intimidates my Dragon, but I go right for the Flamethrower, knock him down to the Sash. He goes for the Stun Spore, paralyzes my Dragon over here. He then decides to set up some webs, I get the full power, he goes for the Air Slash, does a good chunk. I start dancing with the Dragons over here, get some lefties back, he goes for another Air Slash, I go for the Flamethrower, take out the Bug. I get some lefties back, Big Pikachu then decides to make an appearance, goes for the Thunderbolt, takes out my Lizard. I then decide to switch into my Crabominable, get caught in those webs, lower my speed. He goes into his Bandit, I go for the Drain Punch but he's immune. Honchkrow then makes his appearance in game 2, he goes for the Thunder Wave, paralyzes my bird. He then switches back into his Raichu, I go for the Tailwind, set up some speed control. I then go into my Raichu, we got the mirror match of the dream over here. He whiffs the Encore, goes into his Tropius. I go for the Thunder, connect, do about a quarter, get the Para. Go for another Thunder, do about another quarter. He goes for the Leech Seed, starts getting some health back with that. I then decide to switch back into the Honchkrow. He goes for the Synthesis, gets back to full health. He then goes back into his Raichu. I go for the Brave Bird, do a huge chunk, take some recoil. I then go for the Terra Dark, he starts thinking some nasty thoughts over there. Go for the Brave Bird, take out the Raichu. We then get the Bird Showdown with Squawkbilly. He goes for the U-turn, immediately runs away because he's scared. Goes back into his Tropius. I go for the Brave Bird, take him out in one shot. I then go down to the recoil. I then go back into my Crabominable, he goes back into Billy over there, I get caught in the webs, I immediately switch into the Raichu, get caught in the webs again, he goes for the Brave Bird but Raichu takes that, get that static going over there, he takes a little bit of damage, I then go for the Electro Ball, take out Billy. He then decides to switch into his Bandit, I go for the Electro Ball, do a good chunk, that Curse Body gets going, he starts dancing with some swords over there, I decide to switch into my Wugtrio, get caught in those webs again, he goes for the Knocks Off, takes me out in one shot, but I get that gooey going, lower his speed. Crabominal comes back in, gets caught in those webs again. He goes for a knockoff, gets rid of my boxing glove. I go for the Thunder Punch, Bandit just hangs on. He goes for the Shadow Sneak, Crabominal hangs on, goes for another Thunder Punch, takes him out. His last mon, Little Hat, finally decides to come in, goes for the Psychic, takes out my Crab. I go back into my Raichu, get caught in those webs for the 10th time, go for the Fake Out, do a little bit, he flinches. I then go for another one because I'm choice, but that obviously doesn't work. Go down to the Psychic. I then go into my last mon, the Goat. He goes for the Nuzzle, does a little bit, gets that Para. I'm fully paralyzed, can't move. He goes for the Terra Psychic. I'm still paralyzed over here. Goes for another Psychic, the Goat is hanging tough. Go for the Leaf Blade, get a crit, but the hat is still over there. He goes for another Psychic, I got another full Para. He goes for another Psychic, the Goat hangs on, goes for the Leaf Blade, takes that Little Hat. Good game. Alrighty, and that's the video. If you like these kind of funner games, please leave a comment down below and stay tuned for future content. Peace!